Welcome back, seasoned data engineers. If you're here, it means you're gearing up for the GCP Professional Data Engineer Renewal exam, and you've come to the right place. This is your final review. We're going to skip all the basics and get right to what's new, what's different, and what you absolutely have to know to pass. Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first, the renewal exam is a completely different beast. It's designed for pros like you who are already in the trenches. Yeah, it's shorter, only 60 minutes, with maybe 20 to 25 questions. But the real game changer, and what this table shows, is the focus. It's not about fundamentals anymore. It's all about new services, optimization, and high-level architectural design. It just assumes you already know your stuff. So here's our game plan. We'll quickly touch on the new mindset for this exam. Then, we'll dive deep into the 3 big architectural patterns that keep popping up. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a super focused study plan for that last week of prep. Ready?
Right, so let's talk about what makes this renewal exam so unique. It's built on a really important assumption, that you're already a working data engineer. They're not going to waste time asking you to define a P collection or write a basic select statement. They know you can do that.
This right here is the most crucial thing to understand. The cognitive level has shifted. It's not a memory test anymore. It's a design test. They're not asking, what is Big Lake? They're asking, how do you architect a cross-cloud data mesh using Big Lake? See the difference? It's all about the how and the why.
Okay, let's get into our first critical pattern, building a modern data governance mesh. Honestly, this is a massive theme on the new exam, and it totally reflects what's happening in the real world with decentralized data ownership.
So the old way of doing things, data locked away in different project silos, sharing it with these super complex manual IAM policies, that's basically a trap answer on the exam now. The modern approach, the one Google is pushing hard, is all about creating this single, unified governance layer that sits on top of that decentralized world.
And this is your new toolkit for the job. Dataplex is really the star of the show. It's the brains for unified discovery and data quality. Then you have Big Lake, which is amazing because it lets you govern data in open formats across different clouds, all while using BigQuery's awesome security. And Analytics Hub? That's the modern, scalable way to share data sets, making those old-school IAM policies a thing of the past. Now check this out. This is a classic exam scenario, pulled right from the sample questions. This is exactly the kind of problem you'll face. You've got multiple teams, data all over the place, and they need to share it without a ton of overhead. So, how do you solve it?
The right answer is almost always going to be the most integrated, most managed solution that nails the core problem. And in this case, it's Dataplex, no question. It was literally designed to manage a decentralized ecosystem, track lineage, and run data validation. It checks all the boxes from the question. All right, on to our second pattern. This one builds on modernizing your core data transformation logic. This is all about getting away from those fragile custom scripts and moving toward declarative, version-controlled workflows. So if you see a question about building an ELT pipeline in BigQuery, and your first thought is to write a complicated bash script and use scheduled queries, well, you gotta update that thinking. The new correct answer for any SQL-based transformation is gonna be Dataform. For the exam, you've absolutely gotta know the full life cycle of a Dataform project, from the repository all the way to execution. But what's really critical is understanding how it handles data quality checks natively, using JavaScript for things like assertions and referencing other tables. And here's the proof, straight from the horse's mouth. They're not just asking if you know what Dataform is. They want to know how you use its specific features to bake data quality right into the pipeline itself, not as some separate step you run later. So the key here is that Dataform assertions are the native, integrated solution. Trying to solve this with some external tool or a UDF would be seen as less efficient. The takeaway is crystal clear. Data quality isn't an afterthought anymore. It's part of the transformation job itself. Our third pattern is, you could argue, the biggest shift we've seen in data engineering. And believe me, it is all over this new exam. We're talking about integrating generative AI directly into your data workflows. Yeah, the days of data engineering just cleaning up a data set and throwing it over the wall to a separate AI team are over. The new pattern, the one you're being tested on, is about a single integrated pipeline where you, the data engineer, enrich data using AI models right inside your workflow. A huge concept driving this change is something called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. And your job as a data engineer? Well, It's now to prepare and structure those external knowledge bases, that's the data, that these super powerful LLMs use to give back accurate, relevant answers. Now, what's so cool about this is how these services let you do really advanced AI tasks right from your home turf in the data environment. You're literally using SQL and BigQuery to call on large language models. You're prepping vector embeddings for search. I mean, this is the new frontier for data engineers, for sure. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just some trend I'm spotting. It is explicitly called out word for word in the official renewal exam guide. This is a required skill. You have to know how to prep data for RAG. So what does this all mean? It means you have to think beyond just traditional tables and rows now. The exam is absolutely going to test if you understand how to handle unstructured text, how to generate and store vector embeddings, and just generally how to structure data for these new sophisticated AI pipelines. Okay, we've covered the 3 most important patterns. Now, let's bring it all home and turn this into an actionable plan for your final week of prep. And this is designed for an experienced pro like you, so we're only focusing on the highest impact areas. Here's how I'd structure that final sprint. Give yourself 1 full day for each major pattern we talked about. So day 1, nail down the governance mesh. Day 2, modern BigQuery with Dataform. Day 3, AI integration. Then use day 4 for a serious review of security patterns. Think VPC service controls and CMEC. And save your last day for those edge cases and newer features, like what's new in Composer 3 or Dataflow Prime. So, as you're wrapping up your prep, I want to leave you with one final thought. Don't just learn these patterns to pass a test. Really think about which one of these, the governance mesh, declarative ELT, or integrated AI, is going to have the biggest impact on your actual day-to-day job. Because that's the real win here. It's not just about getting recertified, it's about leveling up your skills for the real world. Good luck. You've got this.